I sit next to them. This sounds so creepy out loud, but I swear this works. Hi guys, welcome to today's video. As you can tell by the title, we are going to be talking about the best ways to manifest, all of the ways that have worked for me, literally so many different ways to successfully manifest what you want. I have been wanting to make this video for years. If you've been following my journey, you know that I'm a huge manifester, and pretty much everything in my life I feel like I have because I worked so hard not only to achieve it, but also to manifest it into existence. So we're going to break down all the different techniques that I have used and which ones I recommend, as well as why your manifestations might not be working, because there are ways that you may be self-sabotaging when you are trying to manifest that you might not realize. But we're gonna break it all down. I have a ton of notes on my phone as I have been trying to prep this video. I also have a lot of props to show you, different tools that you might need to use, and I have a playlist on my channel of all the other spiritual related videos that I have made, so definitely check that out if you like this type of content, and definitely subscribe for more. Give this video a thumbs up. I have a lot of different manifestation like deep dives that I can make, how to manifest specific things into your life, and there are just so many, like I could talk about this subject for hours, so much so that I've even considered like doing a podcast about it. This is something I'm super passionate about, and it's been a big part of my life for pretty much my entire life, so I feel like I do have a lot of knowledge about the subject. But of course, we are always still learning. So if there's something that you think is successful that I don't cover in this video, do not be shy, comment it down below, let me know. We are all teachers as much as we are learners, so I'm pretty excited. I will say I have had such intense seasonal allergies today. I feel very congested, stuffed up. I even feel like red and puffy, so if my voice sounds a little different, if I look a little puffy, that is why. So I've got tea with a ton of honey to hopefully help my throat. I will be nursing this throughout the video. I really did want to make this as laid back as I could because there was so much to cover that I just wanted to like freely just talk about it and get it all out there. This is one of my most asked questions from both people in my personal life as well as people on the internet asking like tips about manifesting or manifesting specifically what you want and how to achieve that. So I'm really excited to be able to break it all down for you. I will have my assistant Marnie right here will probably be helping me throughout the video, so don't mind her. But we're gonna be covering a lot, so grab a cup of coffee, tea, a snack. Definitely watch this with an open mind and maybe some space in a notebook or your phone to take some notes. You'll definitely want to remember a few things. But with all that being said, let's get started. I kind of break manifesting down into three parts. You know, there's the before, the preparation, the mindset that you need to prepare to manifest. There's the physical act of manifesting, and then there's the after, like hope that everything that you've done will work out and that you kind of carry that hope of like all the work that you've put in. It's like after you hit submit on an application, you know, and you're just waiting to hear back good news. So there's, you know, the before, the act of it, and then the after. Before anything, before any type of manifestation, you need to 100% believe. 100% believe that it's going to work. 100% believe in yourself. 100% believe that everything will fall into place to bring you what you want. Whatever that is, whether it's a new job, a new relationship, a new house, to get out of financial debt, like whatever it is, you cannot doubt yourself. Because if you are doubting yourself, even before the act of manifesting, it's not going to work. You're already manifesting that it won't work. Every single thought that you have already exists somewhere. If it didn't exist, you wouldn't be able to think about it. Does that make sense? Because you thought it, it exists in your mind. So if you think you're going to fail, you're preparing to fail, you're manifesting to fail. But if you only see success, if you only see yourself succeeding or achieving what you want, then you are putting that out into the universe, you are putting that out into existence. You have to almost, to a point of nonsense, just completely believe that it will all work out, like without any doubt. I see it all the time with like people on TV or stories of relationships where the girl will say, oh, I saw him, you know, at the restaurant and I thought that's my husband, and then she marries him. Like, you just have to fully believe it to the point where you are not giving yourself any other option. Because here's the thing, if you doubt yourself, you are doubting the entire universe, and you need the universe on your side. The universe has your back. If you believe in the universe and you believe and understand that the universe is protecting you and everything that it provides you, like, you are fully protected by the universe. The universe sees that, understands your trust. I mean, universe, higher power, God, it kind of all overlaps, but whatever your divine power that you trust and believe in, they are protecting you. And if you doubt that, you're doubting everything. So off the bat, you just have to go into it fully believing that it's possible. To give you a few examples, when I was younger, I had always wanted my parents to renovate our basement into like a huge teenage bedroom, like the kind that you would see on like Disney Channel shows that were so unrealistic, but like amazingly cool, where you're like, I want my teenage bedroom to look like Raven and That's So Raven, or the Hannah Montana closet. Like, since I was like 7, 8 years old, desperately always wanted the basement to be like this cool big bedroom. And of course my parents were like, it's never going to happen. We're not spending that much money. We don't have that much money to renovate a basement. But I never gave up. I fully believed that it was going to happen by the time I was a teenager. I even had a binder with like drawings of what it would look like. And we'll get into that a little bit later, but looking back, I was manifesting by creating that binder of like a dream teenage bedroom. And then long story short, everything fell into place where we actually received a free basement remodeling gift from a local company. Very long story, maybe for like a podcast someday. But looking back, I'm like, oh my God, I made that happen. Like, I manifested that since I was a kid. I'm the reason that the basement company even found us. Like, we got this dream basement. We were able to build equity on that house because we renovated the basement. And beyond all that, the drawings that I made out of crayon were identical to what my teenage bedroom looked like. Like, I somehow could see it as a kid, even though my parents told me it was never going to happen. I didn't believe them and I made it happen. That's one of those examples where at the time I didn't realize I was manifesting or like putting that into existence, but looking back, I'm like, wow, I have been manifesting since I was a child, like since I can remember. It just goes to show how far that belief that anything can happen, that you don't have any doubt, like how far that will take you in life, and how important it is to like fully believe that it is possible. Because if like social media itself has taught me personally anything, it's that anything is possible if you set your mind to it, if you believe it. The universe will open doors to bring you what you want. Speaking of opening doors and having the universe bring something into your life that you're asking for, my second tip here in the preparation stage is to make room for it. Make room for what you want. We carry so much clutter, whether that is physical, mental, there's clutter everywhere. It's taking up space. It's taking up space in our homes, in our minds, in our thoughts, in our energy. And energy travels. Energy carries. Energy is always moving. And when we have this clutter and these things taking up space, they create blockages, and it blocks energy from perhaps going where it needs to go. And this is something I do frequently because I think it does make a huge difference, is deep cleaning. Show the universe that you are making space for what you want. I remember when I was in the house hunting process of purchasing this home, looking for this house, and I was in my apartment and I knew my dream home was out there, and something that was within my control that I did all the time was deep clean my apartment, declutter, get rid of everything I didn't want to carry into my future home one day, to show the universe like, okay, I'm ready. I'm done living in this apartment. I'm getting rid of what no longer serves me. I'm packing what I can to move, showing the universe I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm packing up, I'm getting ready to move. Anything that might be blocking that new home energy, I'm getting rid of it. I'm donating it, throwing it in the trash, just to really show the universe that like, I am making space for this home to come into my life. I remember when I was kind of manifesting relationship related stuff. I don't want to get too into that in this video. I want to make like a full video on how to manifest someone into your life romantically, like how to manifest him or her or they back if you feel like you don't have any communication, if there's no contact right now. Like, oh my gosh, I swear it has all worked. So I want to get into that in a future video, but within that topic, I do remember when I was going through some relationship struggles, I deep cleaned my closet and any outfit that I had energy or memory attached to, like a relationship that ended, or that I wore on a date, or that had just like negative energy attached to the clothing, I donated it. I was making space for this new person to come in, and I didn't want anything to remind me of the past. I didn't want any bad juju, any bad energy. Like, I was getting rid of it all, showing the universe that like I was opening up my home, making space for this person to come in. Sometimes what we are trying so hard to manifest, we just aren't ready to receive. All of these different things going on in my home, like, oh, I've got to fix that window, I need to like patch up the paint there, like all those little like home chores almost that we put off, that we all know we have to get done at some point, I did. Because I didn't know if that was keeping me from what I wanted and what I manifested. So I just made sure anything that I needed to do to take care of myself, I took care of it. I got it done with. I felt so much better after. I opened up so much space in my house. Like, again, like items have so much energy attached to them. And sometimes that energy can be the reason why what we want isn't coming in. So deep clean your space, get rid of anything that no longer serves you or makes you happy. Sometimes we create blockages, or we have blockages in our lives that we don't even realize are blocking us from what we really want to achieve. So it's really important to deep clean your space, especially, I'll talk more about this either in this video or another one about the moon phases, but during a new moon is a really great time to just do that monthly reset, cleaning out your space. You want to reset for the new moon, you know? So the night before the new moon, I typically will try to deep clean my space, get rid of any clutter, dust. That's a really good time to kind of mark on your calendar if you don't want to forget to do it or life gets in the way. Around the time of a new moon is a really great time to deep clean. And it's also a really great time to manifest, which brings us into my next step. And I'm kind of talking about these in order of how I would recommend that you manifest something. I also really want to make videos specifically about what to do on a new moon, what to do on a full moon, and the differences with that, because this next manifestation tip that I have, again, I think works best around a new moon, but you can really do it whenever. So after you've deep cleaned your space, decluttered your home, and have released all of that energy, now it is time to cleanse your space. So there are a lot of ways to cleanse your space, cleanse your energy, including crystals, incense, bay leaves, like there are a lot of different ways. I kind of use all of them. I'll definitely burn a type of incense and cleanse each room. Incense is a great tool for this. I also use crystals in different rooms to cleanse the energy. So selenite is a really great energy cleanser crystal. I've got huge pieces of selenite in my living room, my entryway, my doorways, upstairs in my bedroom, the sunroom. I wanted it in every single room just to cleanse any type of energy that's entering that space. Obsidian is great because it absorbs negative energy, so it kind of sucks that up throughout the room. And then getting even deeper into types of crystals, the shapes of crystals. So if you have a sphere, like an orb, like a circular piece of obsidian, this is awesome because it can absorb in every single direction. You'll find a lot of selenite in like blocks or long strips because they're also a charging crystal for other crystals, but we can deep dive into the shapes of crystals in a future video. I just think there are different crystals to help you cleanse energy, and that's what I wanted to touch on a little bit. The last type of energy cleanser that I tend to do on full moons is burning bay leaves. So this is super simple. I know it sounds a little bit like, if you've never heard of it, you can just get bay leaves at any grocery store in the season aisle. So these are just the Good and Gather bay leaves. I go through them pretty quickly. All that you do with the bay leaf is you take a piece of, I don't want to take this one out because it's actually kind of broken and it's my last one. You take a piece of bay leaf and then you take a Sharpie and you write on the bay leaf what you want to release. Personally, when I was getting over a pretty hard breakup a few years ago, I kept writing that person's name on the bay leaf, or I wrote like their power over me, or the space they take up in my mind, the fear of losing this person, the anger of what she did to me, or X, Y, and Z, you know? If you want someone to come back into your life that might be ghosting you, or you just don't have contact, that's ego in the way of them not contacting you. So I also, if I was trying to manifest someone back into my life, I'd write like so-and-so's ego, and then you want to burn that. So you don't burn that person, but you're burning their ego that is blocking them from contacting you. There are a lot of different specific things, but you write on the bay leaf what it is you need to release, and then in a fire safe location, so I just do it over my kitchen sink because the faucet's right there, you take a lighter and you burn the leaf completely. I do it until like the stem starts to burn my thumb, and then I just drop it into my sink. I mean, it's really small, it won't start a fire, but also be super careful. I think this works really well, not going to lie. And then sometimes if a leaf doesn't burn, there's a reason for that too, and I always hold on to pieces of leaves. There's a lot that you can do with it. Definitely just in the preparation of manifesting, practice the art of letting go. And that is everything I have for like the before section of like prepping to manifest, just getting yourself into that right mindset, preparing your space and your energy, decluttering, cleaning, cleansing, allowing whatever it is that you are manifesting into your life. And now for the fun part, the actual act of manifesting. There are so many different ways to do this, but it all really does boil down to the simple act of you practicing asking the universe for what you want, and basically just thinking, speaking, breathing it into existence. Every single act that you make should align yourself with what it is you are trying to achieve. It could be as simple as the work you are doing or the plans that you are making that evening. If choosing to like, I can't even think of an example, but like, oh, I'm going to do this for work because this will lead to this paycheck, which will lead to me putting this towards a down payment, which will lead to me getting that house. Like every single action should have that reaction getting you to where it is that you want to be in the future. So my first big tip for actually manifesting is dedicating a journal specifically to all of your manifestations, to what it is you want, solely just a journal dedicated for manifesting purposes. This is my current manifestation journal. This is what I use to manifest, to write letters to the universe, the moon, anything that has to do with that, it's in here. You want to make it a super safe place, just full of everything that you love. And it's something that you want to treat really well, honor, keep it safe, because this journal is going to hold all of your hopes and dreams. You don't want to like hurt that or damage it, you know, and you want to keep it very safe so that it keeps you safe. So I'm sure you can see where this is going, but my first technique for manifesting that I swear works every single time is to journal about it. Write out exactly what you want. And there are different ways to go about this, so we'll talk about that. I want to make a full video too on like how I journal / manifest, because I could deep dive into this way as well. But personally, what I do, and it's kind of similar to like New Year's resolutions, is at the beginning of this journal, it's usually the start of a new year, I have my yearly manifestation resolutions, and that's like what I want to achieve within the year. And I have that at the start of my journal so I can open the journal, look at it, go back to it, keep it in mind. And then I have more of my monthly manifestations, and these are the ones that I will journal and manifest about every single new moon. A new moon occurs every 28 days, so it's about once a month. I also, this is like my daily journal that I write like entries in. I want to do a full video on all of my journals as well, so subscribe to see that, because I will share like more about my journaling soon. But I'm sure some of you remember this page, but every single year in my journal I just write out all of the new moons and the full moons. You can look up the moon calendar online, and then I just drew it the way that it works best for me. So you can do it however you want, but that helps me keep track of when a new moon and full moon is coming up, just in case life gets a little busy. I also have my Apple Watch set to like the moon phases, so you can see right now it's actually a new moon, which could not be a more perfect time to film this video, because every single new moon I write a letter to the moon, thanking the moon for the last moon cycle, the last month, the last moon phase, and everything that had happened, thanking the universe for it, and then writing out what I am manifesting for the next moon. This has worked every single time since I started in 2019, being very, very dedicated to doing this every single new moon. And what's crazy is the more that you do it, the more that you believe in it, and the more that you focus on it, everything has come true. Every single like checklist for the month I was able to check off. Whether it was like a super specific, I want to earn X amount of money this month, whether it was that specific, or whether it was, I just want opportunities to flow. Because sometimes I didn't have like specific things. So I just said, I want opportunities this month, or I want quality time with my family. And those came true as well. I will say that it is very important to be super specific with manifestations, but there are times where I'm just open to whatever the universe brings, so I allow it to be a bit more vague. And just because I write this once a month, I don't write it and forget about it, which does work sometimes. I go back to it, I reread read it, I read it out loud to the moon, to the universe. I meditate on it. I'll use crystals to help. There are some times where I'm writing this out and I'll have certain crystals around me because I'm trying so hard to really bring this into existence. I did this a lot when I was manifesting this house. Off of that, I also dedicate a candle. So this is my new moon candle. I light this every time I'm writing a letter to the universe on a new moon, and I gave it kind of more of that sacred purpose to light it only for that reason. I did also want to talk about the candles that the company Magnificent 101 sent me. So if you're looking for something a bit more affordable, I mean, these are not that expensive. You can find candles at spiritual shops. That one will be a little bit more, but these small candles are usually like not even $1. And then just buy one of these little candle holders. Red is used for love and soulmates. White is used for cleansing. There are a lot of different purposes for different colored candles, so just make sure that you are aware of that before you just randomly choose a candle. But this company, Magnificent 101, as you know if you watched my other video I just posted, they sent over a few candles for me. This is their full moon candle, so you can burn this every single full moon and set that intention. I'll link this down below if you're curious. These are pretty great too, as well as you just have something that you have dedicated solely for that purpose and have given it that more sacred meaning. You know, candle divination, I'm a big fan of it. I think candle work go a long way, and I think it works really, really well. I can get more into that in another video, and I have more to say about that. Oh, I'm so flustered because I have so many different things I want to say, and there's just so much to talk about. But yeah, writing a letter to the universe, to the moon once a month is just awesome. Don't feel bad if you miss the new moon either. The energy of the new moon is 1 to 2 days before and after it occurs. So you have like that window to write it. And then when it's a full moon, I also write a letter to the full moon, kind of just checking in. It's your halfway mark. It's when you feel the most creative, energetic, up to your full potential. Energy is super high around a full moon. So I usually do like a check-in letter to the moon and universe at that point and say like, this and this is happening, like thank you so much, I know that X, Y, and Z will occur before the next new moon, and just writing it in a way where you fully believe. None of that, oh, I hope this works out, or I want this to, or maybe. You've got to believe. And this goes back to what I was saying earlier, like you have to 100% believe with no doubt that this is happening and that the universe is allowing it to happen. Of course, you want to be realistic though and understand that what you are asking for, like if you're asking to make like $1 million in 1 month, it might not happen in that time frame. Or even if you're just asking to earn a certain amount of money, manifesting is a big part of it, but you also have to put the work in. So you can't just sit on the couch after all month waiting for that paycheck to come in. You've got to put in the work, and then possible bonuses or opportunities will arise. The universe will find ways to bring that income into your life, but you have to put in the work as well. So going off of writing out a letter to the universe and manifesting that way, scripting, very similar, also works super, super well. So scripting is essentially writing out what you want, phrasing it in a way that you already have it. An example of this would be when I was manifesting this house, I had a huge list of everything that I knew I wanted in my dream home. I would script out in my journal in the perspective that I already had it. Because again, if you think it, it already exists. The crazy thing is, I have in this journal, because this goes back to 2020, and I'm almost done with it now, so it's time to start a new one. But I want to share with you something that I wrote because it is so spot on. When I was house hunting and I had that list of everything I was looking for, I wrote as if I already lived in that house, saying how I am so happy to wake up in my dream home every single day. I love making coffee in my bright white kitchen. Like, here's the thing, this is before any of this happened. I was in my apartment, but you want to script it as if it already occurred. So I was scripting months before I even found this home. I am living in my dream home. I bought my dream house. I am the only one who can buy this house. I'm thanking the universe for such magic, such abundance. I can't wait to make memories, start every morning in my perfect kitchen, read in my sunroom, tan on the deck over the river. I'm doing laundry, editing in my office. I'm starting my car in the garage. I have white shelves, a pantry. I claim it all, and then I talk more about that. But it's crazy because I do like go in the sunroom, tan on my deck. I am doing laundry. I have white shelves. Like I use scripting as being like, oh, I have my dream job. I am so grateful for my dream job, sitting in my big office with my wooden desk and my like seeing it, visualizing it, scripting it. Instead of writing, I hope to be, or I want to, write, I am, I have, I am so happy because I X, Y, and Z. Like there's a really big difference between, oh, I hope this works out, to I am making this happen. And you want to start practicing writing and scripting and even thinking and speaking about it with that mindset instead of the hopeful one. Okay, so off of that, another example of a writing manifestation technique is still scripting, still writing out perhaps a letter or a list, basically just the act of writing out specifically exactly what you want. Now this tip is to place that underneath a pillow and then sleeping on it so that the words underneath your head absorb, they go into your mind, your thoughts go onto the paper, and it's just working all around you. This works really well too if you are writing a letter to someone that you hope will reach out to you or that you'll have communication with, and then I'll talk more about that in another video. But putting it underneath your pillow, I did this a lot when I was manifesting the house and it worked. Another technique is to put it underneath moon water. So moon water is just water that has been charged underneath a full moon. You fill up water in a water bottle, a jar, you place it outside. If you don't have access to a safe spot outside, in a window, somewhere with direct contact to the full moon, and then the day of the full moon, the night of it, the full moon will charge the water. The moon has such a direct effect on us. The moon fully affects water. We are made up of mostly water, so there is no doubt that the moon isn't affecting us. The moon is the reason we have waves in the ocean. Like the water that you place will be charged by the moon, and then there are so many different ways to use moon water. I like to have a little sacred cup next to a Buddha in my home and fill the cup with charged moon water. You can also drink it if you're putting it in a container that's safe to drink. You can water your plants with it. You can cleanse your crystals with it. You can use it as a spray in rituals. There are lots of different ways to use moon water. But in terms of manifesting, you can also write out what you want, put it underneath charged moon water, or put it underneath the jar outside so that when the full moon is charging the moon water, it's charging your manifestation into the moon water, and then you drink that water and you are essentially drinking what you are manifesting, absorbing it into your system and like becoming what you want. That might sound a little like much for people that aren't used to this, but I swear that also works super, super well. Speaking of water, another way to manifest is speaking it into like a bowl of water. So I don't use water as an element a lot with manifesting. I definitely have more experience with fire and air and just scripting itself, but I do know spiritual practitioners, people that practice spirituality, rituals, and beliefs, they will use like a clear bowl of water because water has memory, water has energy, and they will speak into the water what they want, and that water will hold what they want. The thing with manifesting and energy and water itself right now is that energy has a certain frequency. Water also has that vibration, that energy. Like the energy is everywhere, even with currency. Like money has a frequency and an energy and vibration to it. So that's why it's possible to manifest through water, because of that vibration and that energy pathway. And the last different form of manifestation that I have is the whisper method. So if you're not the best writer, you don't feel like you are able to get your thoughts out on paper, perhaps you're not comfortable with using fire or water at this point, the whisper method will be your best friend. It's very, very simple and it works super, super well. This has worked every single time for me. It's as simple as it sounds. You're basically just speaking what you want and having it happen. Of course, there are a lot of different ways to practice this, and specifically this works well when you are trying to channel another person and you are hoping that they might reach out to you, text you back, give you a call, re-enter your life. Perhaps you want them an apology or something. It's not manipulation, it's telepathic, which you cannot tell me doesn't exist, because again, it uses energy, and energy is everywhere, and energy is a frequency. So the whisper method, you want to get into a very calm meditative space. You want to close your eyes, practice breathing, mentally go there. No distractions. Turn that phone on do not disturb. I like to do this before bed when it's dark and I'm laying down and I'm very focused and it's very quiet. And this works only when you're specifically trying to talk to somebody. So I'm going to use the example of like a relationship because I think this is where it works out the best. You want to picture the person that you are trying to talk to in their space, in their room. If it's at night, like I said, I do this in bed, I picture them in their bedroom asleep. And you want to fully physically be there in your meditation, eyes closed. You want to feel the door that you open into their room. You want to visually see and feel every single footstep that you make up to them. I sit next to them. This sounds so creepy out loud, but I swear this works. I sit next to them in my mind as I'm meditating. Sometimes I say this out loud, sometimes I keep it in my head. The whisper method itself is wanting you to whisper it, so whisper it at least or speak it. You want to talk to them, say hi, whatever it is that you want them to say to you, tell them in this meditation. Say, you know, you miss Makayla. Sounds crazy out loud, but I swear it's not. Be like, you miss Makayla, you need to text her, tell her you're sorry, like you want to, like whatever it is you want, whether it's a promotion or to become official or for them to propose or move in, like whatever it is, you say like, you really want this, tell her the time is now, like all of that, whisper it to them. And then after that, because I've always done this romantically, in my meditation, I always give them a kiss in my head and then I walk out and I shut the door and I come out of that meditative space. Other people that I know, they do it where they picture that person in like a bright white light so that it's just energy around them. But I like to picture them in their space. I feel like it's more realistic. And I will not lie, everything that I have told a person in the whisper method, they have said to me. You just gotta believe it, you've gotta do it, and within divine timing, it will happen. Now, of course, there are two warnings that I give to people that are trying really hard to manifest something. The first one is, sometimes we don't know what is best for us. We think we do, but the universe, higher power, divine power, God, sometimes they are protecting us from something that we cannot see. So if we are trying to manifest a new job, we might not be able to see that that business is going to close in 2 years and we would lose that dream job. We might not be able to see that this house that we really want actually was built on like damaged grounds and has mold coming up through the, you know what I mean? Like there are some things that we think we want or need that aren't going to be good for us, but only the universe knows that. So if you're like, oh, my manifestation isn't working, I've done everything, and you've like cleared all the blockages and you fully believe it and it's not happening, it might just not be meant for you. But what you want is out there. You know, that other tip where people say to write down everything you're looking for in a partner, even if it seems unrealistic, and then that person will like show up into your life. Oh my God, it happens. That doesn't mean you settle for someone that has sort of what you're looking for because you want it to happen quicker, you know? So sometimes the universe is protecting us from things that we cannot see. And that is why it feels like your manifestation might not be coming into fruition quite yet. The other warning or heads up that I give people is be super, super careful what it is that you are wishing for. I know it sounds like a Disney movie, like be careful what you wish for, but again, sometimes we don't know what's best for us and the universe might be trying to protect us, but if we are saying, no, like, I really want that guy, like, I know there are red flags, but he's my man, we might just end up getting hurt in the end. If we are like, that's him, he's the one, I don't care that he doesn't have a job or has like a mattress for a couch, like, he's it, I wanna be with him, something horrible could happen down the road where the universe is like, well, you said that's who you wanted, and then you realize, oh my God, I got what I wanted, but this isn't what I want. So that also happens. But if you fully believe that that is what you want, that that is your purpose, that whatever it is, the universe will do everything in its power to give it to you because the universe wants you to be happy. Now, a lot of what I've been talking about in this video, I have learned through a lot of different books that I've read. So I just want to leave some of those resources down below. I will say the book that got me kind of like really into fully believing that it can happen was You Are a Badass by Jennifer Sincero. I talk about this book so much in older videos because the year of like 2019 to 2020 was so life-changing, and I always bring it back to that book saying if I had never read that, I never would have even thought this was possible. Oh my God, I feel like I sound so congested right now. Like my voice sounds so nasally in my head. I can only imagine like editing this. If this is the first video you're watching of mine, I don't normally sound like this. Yeah, the whole You Are a Badass series, I do think just pumps you up to really believe it's possible. She talks a lot about manifestation and how she achieved her dreams, and it helped me so much. Like, I wrote out letters to the universe because of her. I wrote out a letter to money and it worked. Like, there's so many different things. I'll talk more about different topics in detail on my channel too, but this is more of like a big overview video to start with. I also read The Universe Has Your Back by Gabrielle Bernstein, and that book really helped a lot too. So I'll link that. I think I have a whole Amazon list of the books, so I'll just leave that down below if you want some new reading material. Again, when it comes to tools, crystals, candles, cleansing, incense, bay leaves, any spiritual shop should have these for you. So if you just look up spiritual shops near me, if you don't have any near you, Etsy is a really great resource. There are a lot of online spiritual shops. The biggest takeaway, just to summarize everything, is to 100% fully believe, do not doubt yourself, clean your space mentally, physically, cleanse your space mentally and physically, manifest, write it out, speak it out, think it out into existence, and then fully believe it's possible in divine timing. Do not doubt. When you are ready for it, the universe will bring it into your life. I really hope that this video helped. I feel like I was just spitting so much out at once, so hopefully this was clear. Please let me know your thoughts down below. Like I said, I do want to deep dive into more specific manifestation topics in future videos, but to start, I just wanted to try to cover as much as I could in this one. So I really hope that it helped and that you enjoyed. Please subscribe for more. I will link my spiritual video playlist down below as well, because I do talk about manifestation and crystals and other stuff in a lot of different videos. I believe in you. I know it's possible. And again, this is gonna sound so corny, but if you believe in yourself, it will happen. Like, everything I have around me, yes, is the result of hard, dedicated work, but it's also the result of manifesting and me believing that this was possible for me. And here I am. So whatever it is, I know you can make it happen, and I'm here for you. If you are looking for more guidance, I also offer tarot readings, which are a great tool if you feel lost or confused with your purpose or direction in life, and you can just DM me on Instagram and we can set up a reading. I would love to help you. I've been reading tarot and giving readings for like 8 years at this point, so I know what I'm talking about. Follow me on Instagram for more. I share a lot of spiritual stuff on my Instagram stories, like with different moons and eclipses and whatnot coming up, so I think I said it all for today, but I'll see you real soon with a new video. Bye.